I mean, I'll take it. That's been outstanding. I mean, in the grand scheme of things. All right. How many have I done? Done a lot. We go live there. EF. A, B, C, D, E, F. So I could do one more. Well, I could. I'm putting the effort in now. That's for sure. 2145. That's 5 for the day. That's pretty incredible. Lady. It's a good time, period. Good. La da dee dee. Hi, if you don't know already, my name is Kevin G Nicholson. I am the host of this YouTube channel. I'm broadcasting from Danielson, Connecticut, the upper northeast corner of Connecticut, which is the upper northeast corner of the United States, which resides in this world that we all live in. It's good to see you. Hi. Swell. Said hi. Said swell. Today, it's gonna be a little talk, a little music. We're having some fun. We're gonna see if the girl follows to the new channel. Oliver and Diddy. Oh, there, Diddy baby or the Beaver, I don't know. 100,000 bottles of baby oil has somewhere sure to go. I knocked the key out of string. You're kind of funny. I'm funny looking. I'm funny smelling. And I don't know if I'm funny tasting or not. Somebody else will have to tell me that. I don't know. I'm pretty funny. Said hi, said hi, said hi. Crest whitening. Could always use some crest whitening to get the yellow out of your teeth. But I don't particularly use it myself, 'cause I like to repel all the women and the BS that they cause. That's the way it's gonna be, and I don't see the claws. Whiten these teeth. Boy, that really irks some people, huh? Did he baby oil the beaver and make him a believer? Did he baby oil the beaver? I don't know. Kind of funny. I'm really funny. I'm exceptionally funny. And I have so many accents. And they all make perfect sense. Oh, it makes you feel so special inside. Or not. You know, it's all about the good time, period. Because, I mean, there are only so many things we could talk about, period. And these nuts. Oh, goodness. Rest in peace, Sean Connery. One thing Sean Connery taught us, and it was the Sean Connery bitch slap. Well, someone give him any shit, girls start going, no, and he just right across, reset a hard drive. He was an extraordinary gentleman. Extraordinary? That's kind of insulting. Ah! There's a lot of focus on the color of my choppers. Not quite sure what that is. I do believe the age range, though, because that seems like that sort of... You know what I'm saying? Sean Connery. You probably can't hear that. Sounds carry from the street over. And you can sometimes hear conversations. I was hoping it might have traveled enough where you can hear. That's right. I did a lot. EF. Six streams. Yeah, I had to count it in my hands. Oh. Y'all seen One Man, One Jar? Have I seen One Man, One Jar? I have not. Is that anything like Two Girls, One Cup? Because that was kind of grody. I didn't feel enhanced by that viewing experience. I was just like, really? You? So it got the ooh out of me. Anything that makes me go, oh, I'm like, eh, I don't look forward to it. I'll ooh. It's so much worse. I don't think I want to know. Oh, no. Oh, no. See? And now my imagination's just gone haywire. Now I'm all set. Thank God he put down a time. Oh. See, I don't even have to actually see it because I do have an imagination and I'm just like, oh my God, no. I'm glad he didn't die. Although the questionable decisions of that nature, sometimes you go, I don't feel so bad for them. Depending on what they're doing. Sometimes it's okay to blame the victim. Homie didn't even scream or anything, just took it. What's up? embraced the pain. He took the pain in. He took the pain in and made it his own. He said, "Oh, that's it." Oh, see, now that's not for me. You know, I'm amazed, Toby. You'll appreciate this. I thought I'd seen it all, and then Toto Payne Diaz came into the room and said, "Blame under the victims." Blame under tire victims. Well, what did they do to get under that tire? Were they stopping traffic? Did they jump in there? They jump suddenly in front of the tire? Toto? Blame under tire victims. You really should. Anyone who gets run over, they were asking for it. Even if they look both ways when they were crossing the street, they're still in the street. You got to be mindful of your environment. You can't just trust the blinky lights. Yeah, I need some conceptual evidence. No, not conceptual. I need some parameters. I need the context. Context was the word I was looking for. Context to what the scenario would be. Let's take the old trolley theorem. You can pull a lever that'll send a trolley into one man, or if you don't do anything, the trolley goes and runs over 17 people. You pull the trolley, essentially making you the murderer of that one man, or do you just let it go and take out all 17? That's that question. That morality question. What's the right answer? Do you do nothing and let the trolley take out more people? Or do you go, I don't know who that guy is, but 17 over 1, pure numbers. The 37 over, whatever number I said. It's a lot of people. Let's say it's a gazillion people down one track. Cultural identities, weighted values. Well, that's what we do every day that we're alive. Our values are weighted based on our observations, and we retain certain observations with memory to try to adapt and learn as we move forward. So if every time I leave out the front door of my house, if anytime I do that, I get hit over the head with a bucket filled with feces, I'm going to learn to stop going out my front door and find another mode of egress. This has been a recording 20311. It's all about the context. And that really is that philosophical trolley question. Best ID bucket guy? Oh, she's back. She's back. Period. It's a good time. Period. It's a great time to be alive. Period. Let's talk about the period. No, I did not. I don't want to know. I heard it's gross. And if it's gross, I don't want to look up things like that. That's naughty. That's oh my God, it is so gross. From what I heard, there's like bugs and stuff. Ew. Ew. Oh, I can't trust anything that bleeds for a few days and doesn't die. Who does that? Ew, yucky. Ew. You don't even know. Boy periods on walls. See, I don't have a boy period. I have Times I turn into a stencil machine. I take a cookie cutter, I put it over my butt, and then I back my butt against the wall, and I just let it go. And then I move over a little bit. Move over a bit. You get stars and clovers. Like a Play-Doh fun factory, just with... I'm like a painting Play-Doh fun factory. Play-Doh fun factory. Boy tampons almost elected. A tampon? I wipe at the end of the day to save on TP. That's funny. See, that's why I keep the tampon in for that same reason. I like to pull that out at the end of the day and count the rings. Oh, that's gross. Oh, God. That this would be one of the streams would be about drinking one's own piss out of a stein. Huh? Mangoey. I don't even know what that means. Mangoey. Funny wife, self-pleasure. Do you know what a tampon is? I put 2 in my nose when I get cold, and it keeps the boogers at bay. That's what tampons are for. Love me a good tampon. And know, if you get those suckers wet, you put those in a little gooey, you can throw those against the wall, let it stick. That's right. It's for a guy, what? What, the Sigma? Some things in here don't react kindly to bullets or tampons. It's very girl. A goyle. Oh my God. A Sigma goyle. Sigma goyle? What's a Sigma goyle? I don't know. What's the Sigma goyle with you? I don't, none of that makes any sense. Total Pains Diaz says, stuff trim when emotional. I do trim when I'm emotional. I like the bush nice and tidy. When I'm feeling especially out of control emotionally, I get emotional. I get overclimped. Emotionally, I get overclimped, and then the nerves come out in the nerves, and then I fart a little, and that makes me even more nervous because I'm worried about if someone heard me fart, and then I groomed to make myself feel better. And while I was grooming, I pooped on my own hand. And then what was worse, I leaned out, I smelled it, and it smelled like Hershey's. I entered, what was that? That was Brian Griffin at the end there. Not Brian. Who's the kid? Peter. Come on, Kev. You're brain dead. The pink guy. Autism common good impersonation. Well, I think I just did a good autism common good impersonation. With pink guy. I am multifaceted and multi-organism. I have multiple STDs on my chat programs. I have a chat STD. Last time I had, I touched chat GPT. I got a chat STD. Now I got chat VDs all over the place. I got Oblon AI STD Espanolas. You ever had an Espanola up your rectum? It's painful. You don't want Espanola up the rectum. Rectum damn near killed him. Just saying. Creative spirited talent scene. It's creative. It's spirited. It's talent that's been seen. You know, you don't want to let talent go unseen. It's a waste. Like, for example, someone drinking a mug of pee. You're in good health. You're in good health. That's an actual song. You're in good health by Noiseland. Look them up. You're in good health. Tell them Kevin G Nicholson sent you. Hey, Vagina's back. Hi, welcome back, Vagina. Say a bad word. I just did. It's the girl part. The girl part's a bad word. They're all bad words. Especially if you say them loud, lad. Why don't you... Let's sing a song about how do you even pronounce that? Briella? Let's sing a song about Briella. Let's sing a song about Briella. I believe that I can smell you. Guys, no Creek, good stuff tonight. I couldn't, those tickets are expensive. And unless someone was paying for me to get in, I just couldn't. But, I mean, have a good time. You have a good last night. The weather's decent. I hope you guys didn't freeze up too much out there. He's talking about Strange Creek. That festival's going on right now. And typically I'm there, but hey... You know, I had a nightmare the other night. Peace, love, man. That string. Heh. I feel a little bad contemplating it now. But it's a lot of money to go to that. And that's another 23. Period. Good way to end it. That works. Period. End of line. Period. What was this episode about? Period. Which is what? Bloody vagina! You can't say bloody vagina. Yes, you can say bloody vagina. Said hi. My best video. Most views I ever got on a video. Painted vagina. It's all about the vagina. Vagina, vagina, vagina. That one lady is a period. You know what, Toby? What is it, 9:01? It's 9:01. We're 25 minutes in. Heavy flow. Ooh, that's almost better. Okay, no. Vagina, heavy flow. That's the next. I'm gonna do that now while you're here. Yeah, we're ready for that, but I'm gonna stick with you for a second. I gotta go to that. And then this will be FG. Wow. All right. Although I feel like I'm really okay. China. Heavy flow. And we'll set it that way. And we'll scoot all that over that way. And we'll scoot and down right there. Picture. Watch, this will probably be like the most viewed live stream of all time simply because you use the word. People are so what we'll do is heavy flow will be broken. I gotta break the heavy flow. There we go. No, that doesn't work either. I'm still an artist, guys. I still gotta make sure it looks halfway. Okay, so I'll take my picture and lift that up. There we go. Okay. It'll do. Grab still. Export. China. Heavy flow. And then switch over to okay, so I need, yeah. And then people are starting to shoot off fireworks around here. It's not even June, and people are already breaking out the. Okay. Now you guys will feel a little pinch in a second. Here, it's already attached. Sent. That means you should get there. Ready for it? Oh no. Now it's over there. It's in this little machine. Okay, so let's close that out. Skank on 42. Ryan Dempsey, type in Orkney, Scotland on maps. And that's where I am, buddy. Ryan, Scotland. I hear it's a beautiful land. I hear it's absolutely beautiful there. I also hear that they made laws about talking to people, which scares the heck out of me. But hey, I hope it's all well over there. Ryan Dempsey. Are those dogs or are those donkeys? I can't tell. I can't tell what those little icons are. So yeah. So here, I'll give you a preview of what's to come. Because I just created this before I do each episode. I gotta make my icon. So I think that one's gonna do well. What do you think? Yeah. That's what you're looking for next time. I figure I'll at least do one more tonight. How can I not? Because, my best viewed, you watch, it'll be like thousands of people in this room because of that, just because of that one word. Just one word. And it's all right. You guys know how this plays out. All right. One more time.